Oh no. There it is.
Voices echo, hearts laid bare, battle scars we all still wear. Through the storm, through the fight, searching for hope in the dead of night. No more hiding, no more shame. Face the fire, call the name. Lessons learned, stories told. Rise again from the ashes cold. Tuesday talk, light in the dark, where the broken find their spark. Tales of pain, but we still stand side by side, hand in hand. Tuesday talk, light in the dark, where the broken find their spark. Tales of pain, but we still stand side by side, hand in hand. Stand side by side, hand in hand. Shadows whisper, demons call, but we refuse to lose it all. Every fall, every tear, built the strength that brought us here. We are warriors, we are fire. Turn the hurt into desire. Not alone, never lost. One more chance, no matter the cost. Tuesday talk, light in the dark, where the broken find their spark. Tales of pain, but we still stand side by side, hand in hand.
Boy, that intro every time. AI is amazing to create these intros. Just unbelievable sometimes. Welcome everybody. It is Tuesday. It is time for Tuesday Talk presented by SAVE22 Veterans. I am Flyboy, also known as John Moser, and Tuesday Talk is really happy that you're joining us today. Tuesday Talk is about real conversations, real people, and real support. So jump in, hang on, and let's make our time count. You are not alone. You are part of this community, and we are glad you're here. So let's light them up. It's time for Tuesday Talk. I see a couple people already here waiting. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, John Setman, Joanne, as well. You guys are always on time, and I wholeheartedly appreciate it. And now, of course, we're having the live issues as we always do. So it is what it is. Today's episode is about motorsports and mental health, and we are going to be joined by Anissa and Chuck from Auditory Defense and TrackTune. You might remember them from some of our partnerships with Lex Joon and the IHRA. So we'll be talking with them about why Auditory Defense and TrackTune are important inside of motorsports and what their experiences have been in their life and their story. So today I want to talk about motorsports and mental health, and it's been coming up quite a bit for me lately, whether it be at the track, through racing, or through events, and specifically through the people that I meet. It's not about merch. It's not about logos. It's not even about motorsports, really. It's about struggle and how we talk about it. So why is SAVE22 involved in motorsports? Well, here's the thing most people don't understand about why we are involved in the motorsports. We don't show up to the track to decorate it, right? We're not just a logo at the track. We're not looking for the attention. We show up because racing already understands the struggle. At the track, there's no pretending. You either show up ready or you don't. You either finish or you don't. You break, you fix it, right? That culture is the same place a lot of veterans live in their head every day. SAVE22 Motorsports isn't a logo slapped on a car. It's not a nonprofit trying to look sexy or cool. It's not a one weekend event. It's not a one weekend event, and it's definitely not about pity. We don't lead with the traumas. We lead with respect. I'm sure you've all seen the Struggling Let's Talk badge. And that badge matters not because it's loud, not because it's sexy, but because it gives people permission to talk. It doesn't force anyone to raise their hand. It simply says, you don't got to do this alone. And I'm here to listen. We're here to listen. When I'm at a track or we're at a track at an event, our job isn't to sell people on SAVE22. Our job is to listen, to be present, to let conversations happen naturally. The racing isn't the point. The shirt isn't the point. They are simply avenues. They are entry points for those conversations. We are very protective of how we show up. Our credibility matters. Once you lose it, you don't get it back. Motorsports fans don't respond to guilt. They respond to alignment. When we go out and fundraise, we don't raise funds by pushing harder. We raise funds by showing up consistently, respecting the culture, and by letting people opt in their own way. In the bigger picture, SAVE22 Motorsports works because struggle doesn't care what kind of racing that you're into. Most people already know that us veterans struggle. What we show them at SAVE22 is you don't have to fix it. You just have to be willing to talk. So in closing, meet people where they already are. Be willing to listen. That's how SAVE22 Motorsports works. And that's why we keep showing up. So if you're struggling, let's talk. So let's get right to it. We're going to bring in Anissa and Chuck with Auditory Defense and TrackTune. Chuck is the TrackTune advocate, and Anissa is the owner and founder of Auditory Defense. You might remember Anissa from a couple months ago when we had her on. Oh, I got Chuck muted. There we go. You might remember a couple months ago we had Anissa and her husband Jim on, but we were having technical difficulties and we were unable to keep any audio or video from that event. So we're going to invite her back on to have a little bit more time to try to share that story of Auditory Defense and TrackTune. So welcome, Anissa. Welcome, Chuck. Thank you for being here today.
Well, thanks for having us, John.
Awesome. Anissa, can you say a little something? Make sure your mic's working. Nope, you're muted still. Nope, we had her earlier. We went through all this, but this is the joys of live. So while Anissa works on that, Chuck, you and I met a couple, no, actually it was last year at Dragway 42. You are a owner, promoter, drag racer, and now a IT specialist with TrackTune. Tell me how you got into motorsports and why motorsports became part of your own passion.
Well, every one of those descriptions, by the way, is just a bit of a stretch. Basically, what I am is a guy. Basically, what I am is a guy with a big mouth. I am a track operator. I manage a drag strip up here in Canada. I stumbled across TrackTunes at a track operators conference in Columbus. Met Anissa. Immediately went, this product is something we need where we are, and the drag racing in general needed it. That TrackTune needed a bigger presence in the drag racing world, and I was fortunate that Anissa needed a little bit of help, and I had some time to help her, and growth has been steady. It's been kind of cool.
It has. And in case people don't know that are listening, we actually teamed up with TrackTune last year, and now one of our partners, Magnolia Motorsports Park, is planning on using it this year when they open their track in the next couple weeks. So tell everyone what TrackTune is and why it works.
Well, basically, what it is it allows the track announcer, all the feed that comes out of the announcer's booth, to be heard over a You can listen to it on your cell phone through a Bluetooth device.
Right here.
That converts it to it.
Yep. There we go. Your TrackTune Auditory Defense right here. You can pick up your local announcer if they are a partner, and you can hear everything over the announcer feed through your Bluetooth headphones. Why that is important is because from being in the pits, being at the racetrack, whether it be at a roundy round or a drag strip event, we don't always get to hear what's going on over the announcers, and especially at the roundy rounds where it's a constant cycle of loud and quiet. The only time you really get to hear is once your ears settle down from all the racing during the caution flags, and then you can hear the announcers. Well, if you are tuned into TrackTune on your ear defense, our Auditory Defense ear defenders, you get to hear that. You don't miss any of it. You get to catch things that you might not have caught before. So really impressive system. I've used it at the drag strips. I'm going to go use it again. Well, no, I won't. I don't think they're a partner, so I won't. But looking to get you guys more involved. We're really happy that you joined us today. Anissa, were you able to get your microphone working? Nope, still not there. I don't have any button on you or anything. Let me look real quick here. Nope, you are not muted or unmuted on my side. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can. There we go. Sounds like a Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now?
Yes, exactly. So thanks for being patient.
No, you're fine. That's how we make these things on live work, right? So, Anissa, you founded Auditory Defense. You are an ear specialist, an auditory specialist. We talked a little bit about that before. You are also a racing mom. Mm-hmm. So you've been around it most of your adult life, and now with your adult son and him racing out west in the, Cars West Tour. Am I correct?
Cars Tour West.
Cars Tour West. There it is. All right. We're very familiar with the Cars Tour. Our partner, Carson Brown, is in the Cars Tour out here, and they've done a couple national events together. I think the first one was Phoenix this year, maybe. Okay. Phoenix, Tucson. Yeah, we have a lot of similarities. But tell us why you started Auditory Defense and why your ear protection is so critical at the track.
Yeah, well, when Bryce moved up to sprint cars, from quarter midgets weren't very loud. Sprint cars were unbelievably loud, which I expected, but what I didn't expect was that I would say hardly anyone wore hearing protection. I'd say less than 10%. And, I specialize in hearing conservation and knowing what noise does to your hearing. And if people knew what I knew, I know for sure the parents would be listening to me and doing something to protect their kids. So I saw a need, and so I started Auditory Defense, which is partly products, but mostly education. There isn't much to my message. It's pretty simple. If you understand how noise affects your hearing, and then you have convenient kind of track-friendly products, that's all it takes to make a huge difference. So that's why I started it. And then I also saw what tracks offer for hearing protection at the track. And what I saw is that every track offered something, but they didn't always, offer the things that were most track friendly. Like the phone plugs work, but they are kind of a pain if you have to take them in and out. So now I wholesale the tracks to, have the products that I would recommend.
And we definitely appreciate it, because I'll tell you, there are a lot of people that come up during the race weekends and ask for hearing protection. And Auditory Defense carries a wide array from either just static earmuffs for adults. I think they're $15. And then the non-Bluetooth version of what you're wearing right now, as well, that connects with the audio cord, 3.5 millimeter audio jack. You also carry the inserts in a Bluetooth form, if I remember correctly, right? Yep. And then you have the model that you're wearing, the Defender, which is what I have as well, which is your top of the line product with the active noise canceling, the Bluetooth connection. You can use it in multiple ways. I use them on my tractor every week when I'm cutting the grass out here. They are phenomenal for that. I want to key in on the education side of it, because as a mom, you said you noticed that there was not a lot of education at the track, and the products were let's just call it what it was, less than optimal, right? So that were available. Do you see a change in the area, or not the area, the culture at the racetrack, where more people are getting involved in the hearing protection and using your products as you had intended?
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. We're working on. I want to be clear. Anisha's been doing this for it's only 2 years, right? I think you're relatively new. I don't even know that it's a full 2 years yet.
Yeah, I will say, I'm just kind of starting out, and the education piece of it, I'm still developing. But I will say I've been able to influence one track operator at a time, and that's Chuck. So as a whole, no, but and even Johnny O'Neill, when I'm able to just share the information to someone, which is pretty simple, a lot of people, select people will get it, and it makes a difference. A lot of people in the racing world don't want to hear what I have to say, and they're scared to address it. So
why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Why are they afraid to talk about it? Why are they afraid to jump in?
Chuck, what do you think?
Well, it's a couple of things, and I mean, she's kind of picking on me because she's seen pictures of me at the races without earphones, without earplugs in, and asked me where they were. So even I'm kind of a bad guy for it myself. But I mean, we've gotten used to it. Some track operators feel that putting up signs warning about the noise creates the image of danger and will keep people away from the track because there's a danger. So they feel that by not recognizing it, then it doesn't exist, right? Like if we don't put up a sign, then it's not a problem. And it's a serious thing to overcome. I generally walk around the racetrack with a pocket full of foam plugs and give them to kids all day long, because here your parents aren't smart enough to realize you need these. But I've noticed, and I get out and I've sold the product retail right at races a couple of times, and I saw a surprising amount of people last year buying hearing protection. But mostly they were buying them for their kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I see a lot of that.
Start, which is a good start. But
I would agree.
That, you don't want to look like the guy who look, guy's got his earplugs on. He's not tough. Well,
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you said that because coming from the Air Force and the flight line background, and we were always told double ear protection, at least have your foamies in, right? Go get fitted for the inserts. Even when we were flying 20 years into my career, they wanted us to wear double hearing protection while we were flying, right? Well, my hearing had already deteriorated so bad that I couldn't hear the radios with the double hearing protection, right? So I think the hindrance of hearing protection is that hearing damage is not an immediate effect, right? It's not an immediate thing. It is over a period of time from repeated exposures. And like Chuck said, us guys don't want to look like we're weak, right? Oh, I can do it. It's okay. It's not a big deal. I can't hear the guys around me. I need to hear the car. I need to hear the engine, right? All these excuses. Yeah. Well, I will tell you that I had 3 people come up to me this weekend at the IHRA, 2 of them on the starting line, and wanted to know about those ear defenders that you're wearing right there. And of those 3, 2 of them purchased. So they are gaining some traction. They are getting more legs, if you will. And people are starting to hear what hearing protection can do for you, right? The awareness, the availability, the set that you're wearing right now, it has a mic pickup as well. We're not using it right now. But if you're in the pits with the team and there's racing going on out there, you can all tune in, or you can all have the headsets on, and the noise canceling and the active mic will be on there. You can still talk normal to each other without having to scream, and you will only pick up the conversation that you're having. I think it's a phenomenal tool. It does work very, very well when you're trying to tune up a race car with other guys going down the track. So I'm a fan of your product. I love the TrackTune. I love what you guys are doing. What else can we talk about real quick? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So I remembered the excuse, or what I hear most people say at the track when I offer hearing protection. You're asking, why do you think not many people wear it? And it's because there's a myth about hearing loss, and if I offer hearing protection to someone, I hear two things. I already have hearing loss, so it's too late for me, or I'm used to the noise, and it really doesn't matter if you're used to it or not. So, no. And it's a cultural thing. Like, you don't want to be, most guys don't wear it. But if you look at like the hunting community, it's just a standard to wear hearing protection, and I'd love that to change over to the racing community. And it's about having the right product. Like you were mentioning these Defenders, I want to explain that these are electronic earmuffs, which have been around forever, which are what hunters use. So just want to give an example of why the hunters use them, and then why it works so well in the racing community. And it's the hunters, they want to protect themselves from the gunshot, but they want to hear what they're hunting. So you put these on, turn on the microphone, you can hear around you, and then as soon as 83 decibel sound or above occur, it shuts the microphones off. So you're protected from the gunshot. Well, at the track, you're around noise, but it's not on all the time. So perfect for drag racing, where you want to protect yourself from that loud noise that doesn't happen for very long, but putting a pair of earplugs in out is inconvenient. So electronic earmuffs, you can, like you said, talk to people around you, and you're protected with the noise, and then you keep talking. So a lot of increasing hearing protection at the track, I think, is letting people know what products are really track friendly.
What I found is letting them try the product. I use electronic muffs at our track because I have to talk to people all day long. People, where's the bathrooms, where's the concession stand, when's my class run, stuff like that. And I can't stand that constant taking a regular headset on and off all day, yet I want to monitor my staff, right, through the radio.
Right.
So these work good for me. I can leave them on. People walk up, ask me a question, car goes by, they blank out the noise. Somebody's on the radio telling me that there's a broke down car. I can hear it through my headset all at once. It really works. I think it's just the biggest thing right now is, like Anissa said, is getting the people who need this tool to understand how it'll work for them. And
I agree.
We've had tremendous progress with some groups of people. We had a track operator who messaged us from the World Series of Pro Mod this year down in Bradenton.
Oh, no kidding.
Can you overnight me some of those? They had been talking about them the night before, using them while tuning the car and whatnot for the crew. And he messaged us and said, can you overnight me some of those? And luckily we caught Anissa at home, and we got lucky. And he was able to get them in a hurry. And I got good feedback from him on that. As far as I know, he is putting product in at their racetrack, and
good.
Is using TrackTune as well. So, I mean, it's guerrilla marketing. You got to take it to them one person at a time and just kind of hit them over the head with it. And I'm still confident that there's a bunch of growth coming, and a lot of smarter people coming down the road will start to pick up on this stuff.
Yeah, it does seem to be the culture is changing, right? And I don't know if it's because we're all older and we're starting to realize the effect that we have now, right? I have to use cochlear. They do, or not, bone conducting. That's the word. That's the word. Bone conduction works a whole lot better for me, especially when I'm doing the podcast. But the tinnitus is what drives me crazy, right? So I have to have some sort of sound coming in to keep the tinnitus down. The hearing aids do a pretty good job when I'm not in a noisy environment, but once I get into that noisy environment, boy, do I need some help, because it can be painful at times. Let's call it what it is, right? Hearing loss can be painful at times when you get a certain frequency or a certain level of a certain threshold of sound. It can actually be painful to hear it. So really happy with your product. I'm very happy that you joined us today to talk about it a little bit. You are offering a discount code to anyone who would like to purchase a set through SAVE22. AuditoryDefense.com, right down here at the bottom. And if you use code SAVE22, correct?
Yep.
If you use code SAVE22, you have a discount. And I believe you're offering a discount on the TrackTune side of the house as well. Is that correct, Chuck?
Yeah. Oh,
Awesome.
okay. Yeah.
Either or.
I'm not in charge of discounts.
Yeah. So
Yes.
if you save 22, you get, if you're track and getting set up, you'll get half off the first year of streaming costs. And
Hey,
on our
fantastic.
website, we have all the costs there and super affordable.
Awesome. So visit AuditoryDefense.com, use code SAVE22 for a discount on the purchase of the product and half price for 1 year of TrackTune. Really happy we had you guys today. Thank you for joining us, even with all the technical difficulties, Anissa. Are we going to see you at the track with Lex or any of our other partners in the near future?
I'll be there.
I'll be at Milan for sure.
Awesome.
I'll be at pretty much everything in Ohio, Michigan area as much as I can. I dropped the ball and did not go to Columbus last weekend. And,
Boy, you missed a hell of a first round race, man. You missed a heck of a first round race with Lex Joon, 319 to 321 with an 013 light and an 023 light. So it was a really close race. It really was.
I did listen to it on TrackTune. All of the
There you go.
all the IHRA national events are available on TrackTune, which is a great way.
They are.
We were in the shop working on race cars and just had it on.
Yep.
And it works.
So hey, let's talk about that real quick. You were up and you are actually Tuesday Talk's first international guest. You're sitting in Canada right now, so I'm pretty happy about that. We just wanted to mention that real quick. But all the IHRA national events are using TrackTune, so that's a phenomenal partnership. We're very happy, very excited for you. You don't have to be at the track to utilize TrackTune. You said it yourself. You're up in Canada listening to the race, listening to the announcer while you're working on your car. I've tuned into a couple events as well where I wasn't able to attend and was able to listen to the broadcast and watch it on a different platform, things like that. Really great product. I'm very happy for y'all, and I'm excited to see where you can go in the future. Really looking forward to hanging out with you down at Milan and hopefully Dragway 42. We'll get to see you guys again. Those are my next two events with Lex Joon. I'm
pretty sure we're even bringing the family race car to the Milan event. So
are you? Oh, that'd be great.
I think my son's going to try and run a top dragster.
Oh yeah. Yep. Great. Well, you have a couple race cars in your stable at the house. We were just talking before the show about your 76 Monza. Is that right? 76?
77 Vega.
77 Vega. That's what it was. Thank you. And then a top dragster and something else too, I think, right? Oh, we just lost him. All right. Well, hey, we're going to call it on that. I've got a couple other guests coming up. That's okay. But thank you for your time today, Anissa. I know you're over there on the West Coast. You woke up extra early this morning to do this. Hopefully our audio and video quality will be better and we'll be able to download it and keep it and share some stuff for the socials. So thank you again for joining us today.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, that was Anissa and Chuck with Auditory Defense and TrackTune. And we're going to move into our deep dive segment with a couple of our guests here today. They are both veterans of the Army, both car guys. Both of them were in attendance this weekend with the IHRA and Lex Joon Racing event at National Trail. One of them is a crew member. He is a IHRA, NHRA race winner with several teams. We're going to bring on Jessie Freeman. Jesse, thanks for joining us today. You're down there. And then we're going to bring in the other side of the house. We're going to bring in our buddy Anthony Barni. Anthony, you might remember, is the owner of Anthony is the owner of Ground Force Coffee, of which I am enjoying a awesome fourth or fifth cup this morning. So thank you very much. Today's selection is the Beach House Beans, a little lighter than the Yippee Taw, but still delicious as ever. So really appreciate Ground Force Coffee jumping on board with us. So thank you very much. Anthony got to experience the SAVE22 Motorsports program as a participant this weekend. So I wanted to bring you both on to talk about both your experiences in the military and what has led you to motorsports and what you're doing now, and then your viewpoints from what you saw. Anthony as a participant, Jesse as a crew member hosting the veterans, right? You've been part of this for a few times. I'm going to start with you, Jesse. After your military service, you struggled a little bit and you had to get into some motorsports, and motorsports became your therapy. Can you talk about that real quick?
Yeah. So pretty much the easiest way I explain to most people is, for me, coming from, being a paratrooper, with a fire team, stuff like that, this is the closest you'll find to a fire team out there. It's also the closest you'll find that I've found so far to the similar situations of like a firefight, where when stuff hits fan, everybody just clicks. It slows down. It's just like in the middle of a firefight when you can hear your saw talking, the rifleman over here, just different people going back and forth of how, okay, I'm up on the top side yanking a cylinder head off, or better yet, for example, one of the biggest ones that a lot of people don't realize it's an easy way to get hurt is your clutch guys.
Yeah.
Down there doing yanking the clutch out. Did that for quite a few years, and being able to tell, everybody would ask, we see the bottom end guy, he's sitting there yanking it over. How do you know that he's turning it? Okay, well, for one, we tell him to yell, but truthfully, you can't always hear that in the chaos. So it's just like hearing the guns talk.
Yeah.
I can hear his impact going, and I know when I hear that sound, he's about to turn it. So I better get my hands the heck out of there, or it's going to hurt.
Yeah, you get a situational awareness from everything that you're doing amidst that chaos. And then that's a great transition. Anthony, when you first walked up, what was it that you saw entering the pits with Lex Joon? You actually got a pretty unique experience. You spent all 3 days with me and us down there. You got to see the load in, you got to see the build, you got to see the car come out, the start, the prep. You were there for all of it. What was your initial impression of the experience?
Excuse me. I would say it was intense. That's probably the best word I could use. You could feel every time something happened, everybody's emotion changed, but everybody obviously knew what they were doing, knew who to follow, and didn't need much like command and control. It was awesome to watch, and there were definitely a few moments where you could really feel all of that emotion. Like walking into it, I did not know what to expect because I'd been on the other side of these races and just as a spectator, and that's always fun for sure. But this was way more fun / intense than I could have ever imagined.
Well, I'm glad you're there. The IHRA does a really good job of hosting veterans with their veteran appreciation program now. I'll be talking with Ruth later this week. Hopefully we can get her on to describe that, her program and what her initiatives are for 2026 to show the veteran appreciation. I got a couple other questions for you guys. How do I want to phrase this? You kind of already answered what it was like being around the team and everything. We got to share some meals. Our meals were provided by Southern Belle Bakery. They are a veteran and first responder couple that catered for us. Really appreciate them doing that. That's kind of the moment we all get to sit down and relax and share some stories. I've got some pictures of the attendees this weekend. I don't know if you can see him, but there's Jeff Roby, a 20-plus year veteran of the Air Force. There's Anthony and myself at the pits. We've got the the caterers and Rick Chavez right there. He's a retired first sergeant from the California International Guard, also a team member with Lex Joon. We've got actually a former co-pilot of mine during the war. In 11 and 12, we flew about 40 missions together. Hans got to experience the starting line right there with our buddy Pete, who's a Aussie service member who's now working with the IHRA on the starting line. So really, really impressed, really happy there that we had that experience with him. Here's the team lined up in the staging lanes, getting ready to go to race. Here's my buddy Rick. Rick's actually on right now, supporting the Red Friday Struggling Let's Talk shirt. It was a little chilly this weekend, a little bit of rain, as you can see. But Saturday, really, the weather came out, and we were able to have a phenomenal race. Jesse, I want to ask you about this because you provided this for us this weekend. This patch board you were talking about, you said this came as an idea when you were running with, I believe it was Jack Beckman back in the day, and was it Infinite Hero car team. So tell me a little bit about this board and why you feel it's important for us to have this.
So back in the day, we sort of started this little thing where it was a buddy of one of our clutch guys that gave him a patch, and we saw it, and we talked about it and started like putting it in the clutch box. And then we got to thinking about it more and more, and it's like, we always see, veterans and military and first responders, everybody come in from all these different people or places, and they would have these patches, and it's like, this is a cool story. Well, for a lot of us, like, it impressed on a lot of us more than just that one weekend. So we ended up starting to talk to them and be like, hey, bring a patch in. And they bring a patch in, and we put it in the box, and it ended up going from the little clutch tray box that you see. It filled that up, and then it extended over onto the door, which those guys, if you know, that team continued to the NAPA team now. It's still going. And it's something that really meant a lot to me, because hearing the stories from all these guys and gals and people and everything, it's more than just a piece of fabric. There's history behind it. Like there's there's way more to it. And like I tell people all the time, it's just learning like these guys and gals and what they did, or not necessarily what they did, but just history of it. That was a person.
Right.
We had one time, to give you an example, and I told people all the time, this was quite possibly the most, pardon my French, it was the most badass patch I've ever seen. And lo and behold, it was our assistant crew chief's father-in-law.
Oh, wow.
He brought it in, and it was the electric strawberry, and it had the Wolfpack pin in it. This dude was an old tunnel rat in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And it's like the life that this man has seen and experienced, none of us will ever understand. And and for me personally, like you said, we have our days when, you want to take the old Remington retirement plan. And this old man's still walking around, and he's seen it, and he's done it. And if he can do it, I can keep up with him. I can do it too.
And I think that's an important observation that you have there, right? The patches are a story. You see over my shoulder here, some of the patches that I put up, and they're impactful to me. They bring up memories for me, times in service, places you visited, and to be able to share that with others. And Lex and Gerda are incredibly gracious with their time and availability. No doubt. Anthony, you got to share some personal stories with both Lex and Gerda. What was that experience like for you? What did that support mean for you, because every time I looked over when you guys were talking, it was always a smile and a laugh. There was seemed to be a pretty good connection there, pretty good reception from the Lex Joon team for you. What was your experience like with that?
I mean, yeah, everybody on the team was extremely welcoming. Jesse was extremely knowledgeable. It was awesome to hear some Jesse stories before he got there. But
I think they call them Jestivities now.
Yeah, Lex and Gerda, you could tell how intense it was for Lex at the beginning, going into Q1 and then having the issues and then getting to Q2 and seeing how close that was for everybody on the team, and getting to talk to Gerda was awesome too. I guess like my wife is the chemical engineer person of our relationship, so I got to share back with her like how their story kind of like it could impact her as well. So kind
Yeah,
of hearing their whole story and being able to kind of give a little bit of that back to my family when I got back was awesome.
that's great. That's
So
great. We love that part of it. You know, I think we all talk about it at SAVE22, being your story being your strength, right? You never know who you're going to help. You could impact just one person simply by sharing a little portion of your story, right? We don't have to regurgitate all the bad things, right? We don't have to spew vomit on everybody about our problems and our issues. It's just the fact that we keep showing up, and as Lex and Gerda say, they never quit. Right. We blew up an engine in qualifying, actually shot the rods out both sides, destroyed the block, had to change the whole engine. So it was a brand new, fresh engine for the eliminations in round one. And man, Lex nailed it on the tree. Lex nailed it down the track. The crew nailed it. Everybody did their job. Nothing broke, nothing exploded. And we were going to make it into round two. Unfortunately, we had a little red light incident there with Lex. He got a little excited, overzealous, and jumped the gun a little bit. But you know, the cars are moving forward. He's moving forward. We're all moving forward. Really, just a phenomenal weekend where there's struggle, there's success, there's struggle, there's success. Right? You just have to keep coming back, and really proud to be able to share that with Lex Joon and the crew. Jesse, I appreciate you sharing your story. You are a is it 8-time winner?
For racing,
He's got to look. Yeah, he's got to think about it now. He doesn't even know. But you've teamed up with some pretty incredible names in the drag racing business: Jack Beckman, John Forrest, Ron Capps, just to name a few. You're actually going to be up in Chicago this weekend with the IHRA. So really appreciate you taking time out to share a little bit of your story today with us.
Real
Thank
quick.
you very much. Yeah, go ahead.
I got one thing I want to do, because like patches, I do like coins. So I don't know how to flip the camera around here or anything. But
Do you have a coin collection there?
I do
Yeah.
have a small coin collection, so I keep my wallies and stuff over here. I did manage to collect this coin this past weekend. It's a pretty neat air fighter wing. I don't know if you've ever seen it before, but turns out this feller, well,
You mean this one right here?
yeah, that feller right there.
That
that
fella
one-
right there?
I'm gonna put him right there with him, because if I'm not badly mistaken, I heard you say he was in here earlier.
Yeah, he's here. He's out there commenting. He said a couple things. He said, "We were glad to have you this weekend to experience the Nitro, Anthony. So thank you for joining us." That came from Rick, the former first sergeant with the California Air National Guard, as you can see there. Right, he coined us both this weekend. Pretty awesome dude. He does volunteer his time to be out there. He just comes up and helps out Lex as kind of we call him a gopher. He kind of goes for this, goes for that. But we couldn't do what we do without him. Lex couldn't do what he does without him, with the setups and the teardowns, and he's the oil guy, right? He keeps things out of your way, keeps things clean. He's quite an addition to the team, no doubt.
He's the GSD guy, the get stuff done guy. Except not stuff, you know what I'm saying. But no, it's been a great time. But like you said and everything earlier, don't be afraid to talk to somebody, man. And find you one of them 3 a.m. buddies. I mean,
Absolutely. Can we talk about your experience a little bit? I'd like to bring up Mile, Michigan last year. Is
Yeah,
that all
absolutely.
right? So
Yeah.
Mile in Michigan last year, we had just won the event. We were sitting in the winner's circle, and I see you sitting off to the side, um, and you were going through a little bit of a struggle, even though we won. And the reason I bring that up is a lot of veterans have that exact experience. You just experienced something incredibly awesome, very, very rare, and yet you couldn't feel the excitement. And now to look at you a year later, and I think you've turned a corner. Is that fair to say?
Oh, absolutely. Um, definitely have. Going from that point, you go through a lot of stuff with a lot of the issues that I had that uh, I struggled with that was getting the best of me to having to make some of the decisions that I did throughout my career. It was really tough, and never thinking you'd be back there.
Right.
Um, you're just down on yourself, like nothing. You could win the world, and it still didn't feel like it was going anywhere.
Yeah.
Uh, and being able to just keep digging and keep fighting, and then being able to have someone there to, hey man, this is what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
This is where we're at. This is where I'm at. This is what's happening, and I'm sucking right now. I need to have
Yeah.
someone to sit there with you and take a knee and drink water. Help you change your socks. Get what I'm saying?
I do get what I'm saying, what you're saying.
Right.
It was a sight to see. I'll be honest with you. I think you were one of the strongest individuals that weekend to be able to convey and communicate with me what was going on with you. And we were able to sit and have a discussion about it and change your perspective a little bit. And I'm honored and proud to have been part of that for you. And I'm really proud to see where you're at now and all the successes that you've all the milestones you've achieved simply by never quitting. So thanks for being
And
here, bud. Really.
anytime, man. And thanks for being there for me. And it's hard too, because everybody, you have these sayings that keep you going, that help you drive through a situation, to help you to get through it. And even yourself struggles with your own saying. Like,
Yep.
one of my biggest ones is, no matter what it is at all in the world, as bad as the situation as it is, there's always a silver lining. It's just how
Agreed.
hard you have to dig to find it.
Right.
And sometimes it's a little harder to dig than others, but if you can find you a good 3 a.m. buddy or someone to talk to, you don't have to dig by yourself.
That's right. You are never alone. You are never
I mean,
alone.
that's like we were all issued e-tools for a reason.
Yes.
So,
Yes. One
I
buddy's
mean,
breaks, you got somebody else to come in and help you out, right?
exactly.
Get in that foxhole with you, that 3 a.m. friend, that foxhole buddy, right? Share that shit that you used to share in the foxhole. Share that shit that you used to share at the DFAC, the chow hall, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just keep moving forward. That's what we all did, and I think that's what we truly miss when we get out, right? We miss those moments that we didn't know were actually important moments at the time, right? We didn't realize what we were doing while we were over there, how we were getting through those things. We relied on other people to share those thoughts, share those feelings, cry on somebody else's shoulder, get that cup of coffee, walk it off, go work out, right? Whatever it was, that's how we got through it. And we forget that when we get out. So I would challenge everyone that is listening, watching, or going to see this later to find that buddy, right? Find that person, find that one person that is always constantly building you up, that's giving you the support, that is there with you, that will eat with you, that will bleed with you, that will go through those things with you. And when you do that, hold on to them tight,
Yeah.
right? Hold on to them tight.
It's like finding that thing that gives you purpose.
Yeah.
Like, because I know a big struggle I had during that time was finding a purpose. Like,
Yeah.
I was lost. I had no idea of where to go in life and stuff like that. And Lex and Gerda with the Never Quit Army and the Never Quit team, and then partnering up with y'all, like, I didn't even realize y'all was going to be there in my first race. Like, and just like it's weird how the stars align, or the things just happen.
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I've got purpose now.
Yeah,
That's it. This is my team. A lot of these guys out here, we spend more time together with the guys than we do our own families in a lot of these
absolutely.
situations. And that becomes your family, and that gives you a purpose. And by SAVE22 being there, the family's even bigger. So
Family's even bigger, right? Right.
it definitely is it's a good atmosphere, good thing. It helps. It helped me. That's all.
It really does. Well, I mean, I've shared it with you. That's what gave me my purpose through my dark times, right? Finding them, going to an event that I'm not even a fan of open wheel racing to begin with. Whoa! I just lost my entire picture. Uh-oh.
I saw a puppy dog.
Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? Can anybody hear me? Can anybody see me?
Oh, we can hear you. Just can't
You
see
can
you.
hear me? All right, we're going to switch the camera and see what happens. That didn't work either. Oh, this is awesome. This has never happened during my lives before.
Too much glare.
Yeah, it's off the top of my head. Thanks. I keep turning around. I keep turning around to see if the camera's working, and the camera's not working. So it looks like I lost my stuff. Gentlemen, I think we're going to call it because we don't have a camera anymore. So if there's one thing that anybody can take away from the SAVE22 programs and this interaction with you, what would it be? Let's start with Anthony. What's one thing that you would take away from this weekend that you would explain to another veteran of what you received? What was your biggest impact this weekend?
A sense of community for sure. Hanging out with both the team and then individually with Jeff and getting that full like VIP side of the track through Ruth was all awesome. It couldn't be done any other way. It was just an amazing experience overall. So the sense of community and belonging as far as the one thing I'd take away.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Jesse, what are you going to take away from this weekend experience?
One thing that truthfully it meant more than anybody there realized for this weekend, as hectic as the stuff that went down was, I have to throw this out there. Oscar, under the car.
Under the car.
The kid blew my mind. As calm, cool, and collected as he stayed in the fire, that reminded me and kind of rejuvenated that in me of maintaining that, of what it's about with the team, of maintaining that calm and the chaos.
Absolutely.
It's like it's serenity. And I have it on a coin, and it says serenity is not finding peace from the storm. It's finding peace within the storm.
Agreed.
And seeing that, it's like, hey, we can have that here. Like it brought back a bit of that fire of years ago that I had when, starting out doing this, of just that.
I do.
Slow, smooth as fast. So
I do. We said that a lot this weekend. There's always chaos in the pitch. There's always chaos in racing in some way, shape, or form. Something's not working out the way you had planned or designed it to be, and you have to keep your head and rely on your training and your experience, and know that you're capable of fixing this because you've done it before. And it's really something that I think transfers over into everyone's life as long as we can use those skills and abilities to get through our stuff. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me, even through all of the technical difficulties that we're having with this wonderful live broadcast. Hope to see you again very, very soon. Anthony, I know you and I will be discussing things shortly. Go visit groundforce.coffee. Use code SAVE22 for 10% off your order. Jesse, where are we going to see you again? I think you're going to Chicago this weekend, right?
Yeah, I'm going to Chicago to help out a buddy of mine on his car. I'll be at the rest of them with Lex.
Awesome.
Getting this thing going. And yeah, we'll be kicking and screaming. We'll do it.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us, and never quit, okay?
Yes, sir. Take care, man.
See you guys. All right. Well, unfortunately, you all are watching a black screen right now, so I'm going to put this thing up, and we're just going to talk for a quick second, and then I'm going to let you all go. So here we are with the technical difficulties that always seem to come up when you're doing a live as your solo. The one thing I can tell you is listening to these guys, it was all about the never quit and realizing that you do have purpose in this world. You just have to go find it. So I will challenge you this weekend to live your purpose, right? Live what is in your heart, and you can never go wrong. Surround yourself with people who will support you, who will defend you in rooms that you are no longer in, and just keep going, right? Find that 3 a.m. friend. So thank you for joining us today on Tuesday Talk. Just about an hour is long. Really like to keep it that way. So look for us up in Toledo this weekend. We'll be with Carson Brown and the Pinnacle Racing Group at the ARCA race. I believe it's the Owens Corning 200 at Toledo Speedway. We'll be taking 4 veterans and their families up there this weekend, courtesy of PRG, Pinnacle Racing Group, and Brad Brown, Carson Brown Motorsports. So look for us. Check us out on the socials, save22.vet, and we will talk at you later.